again, everybody. I'm Tyra Majors. Let's dive right into the deep end. We are welcoming a new member of the KOMO and ARC Seattle team. Steve Soliz is a familiar face around Seattle. Now he's joining our team to bring you the news of the day, and you'll catch him on ARC Seattle at 10 p.m. each week. Steve is in the ARC Lounge with Steve this morning. Welcome.
Yes, welcome, she says.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
And I'm excited to no longer be the only Steve again around here, which is really cool.
I'm glad I could help with that.
Yes, thank you very much for that. So you've obviously very familiar to viewers here in Western Washington, having worked at one of our competitors for the last couple of years. Take us back to the early days of Steve's journalistic journey. Where did you start? Where have you been in certain parts of the country?
To be honest, it all happened by accident.
Really?
I started in radio back 20 years ago, actually, this year. And I was doing traffic. And I was just enamored by our news team in the building. I worked in San Antonio, my hometown.
Yeah.
And I asked a guy who's from the Northwest, like, hey, how do I do what you're doing? And I just learned over the years how to become a radio journalist. I did that for a long time. And then finally, I would say about 11 years ago or so, I made the jump to TV. But it's all just been like, what's next? What's this weird journey? So I never, a lot of people went to school to do this. I didn't. It just kind of happened. But it's been a fun ride.
But obviously it seems like you had a natural curiosity, which is one of the things that you obviously want when you work in this business.
Yeah, I was a weird kid. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, my fun things to do was, I loved to read. I was reading by 3, so I was reading as much as I could.
Yeah.
And I also loved maps. I was the
the
only
No, I
thing,
appreciate that.
This is going to be weird. The only thing I ever stole in my life was a small pocket atlas. I didn't know as a kid that it wasn't free. I just picked up and took it. We were on a road trip and we were like 100 miles away from the gas station I stole it from. My mom was like, "What did you do?"
I was gonna say, did she ever find out?
Oh yeah, she found out immediately when I'm in the back seat just reading this.
Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
Before Seattle, I believe you were in New Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah.
And brought the family up here a number of years ago. Talk about that transition going from life in New Mexico to what it's been like here in the Pacific Northwest.
It was an adjustment. I'm from Texas. I've lived in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. That's all I knew. Yeah. And so, at 40 years old, I thought, well, let's try something new. I've always thought of the Northwest. One of the movies I watched a lot as a kid growing up was Harry and the Hendersons. I love that movie. And so that's really all I knew of the Northwest. And so, but I wanted to come up and give it a try. I didn't think I'd fall in love with this area, and I have very quickly. And so the fact that I get to cross town and come join this team and work at KOMO, it's a really big deal for me.
Why do you think journalism is so important, and what do you appreciate about being in the business?
It's important because people need to ask questions. And I think it's okay to have curiosity. Even if you're not in the position that we're in, to ask those questions. If you have those questions, they need to be asked, and they need to be asked to people in charge. Because a lot of times we need to know what's going on with the money that we pay in taxes. We need to know what's happening in our community. Because if we aren't collectively asking those questions, then people can do whatever they want. And that's not a society we need to live in. Yeah,
and certainly accountability is a big focus for us here at ARC Seattle and KOMO, and certainly you're going to be a great addition to that. I understand that you support Seattle sports teams.
Yeah.
And root on the Cougs, I hear?
Yes.
What's the story behind that?
So I am officially, and because of all the student loans I'm paying, an Arizona State Sun Devil, but...
Okay. Where's this going, Steve?
I'm on an advisory board at Wazoo's Murrow College.
Oh, you are? Okay.
And so I think because of that, people are like, you have to, when you come here, you have to pick one, choose one.
Yes.
And I've chosen to put my support behind Wazoo.
As a Wazoo alum, I have to say you picked the right one. Who went to Murrow College, which is awesome. You also appear or have appeared in 2 different movies in Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And how did that come about? What are the movies, first off?
So the first movie I shot was El Camino. It's the Breaking Bad movie. Essentially, for anybody who's watched the series, it picks up where Jesse Pinkman left after he was freed by Walt. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but it picks up what happened to Jesse. And then also, I was in a movie called Army of the Dead, which was Zack Snyder's movie that he did for Netflix. It was a really big zombie flick. set in Las Vegas, some weird apocalyptic time, but it was an adventure to do. It was, and our boss at the station I worked at wanted us to do that. She actually told us, if it doesn't get in the way of your everyday job, do whatever you want.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Helps with exposure, I would imagine,
Yeah,
right? In a very big
does,
way.
yeah.
So tell us where people can watch you. You're going to be on the air today, I understand, besides being here on ARC Seattle.
Right. So today and the rest of the week, well, at least today, I'll be doing our 3:30 newscast on KOMO.
Okay.
And then I should start doing our show at 10 o'clock here on the ARC beginning next week.
Amazing. Just jumping right in.
Yeah, they figure I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, you've been at it a while, and you know the area, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Any message that you have to viewers of ARC Seattle and KOMO about yourself, your approach to journalism, and just this new opportunity? What would you say to them?
Well, I think what you see is what you get. I mean, I am the same person on air as I am off air, and you guys will learn that as we all work together. But I strongly believe that we live in a very special place. It's not perfect. There is no utopia.
Yeah.
But there are things that we can all do together to make our community better. And I'm committed to doing that. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to stay here, is because I believe in what we are now and what we can be. And I think if we all do that together, with all of us doing the jobs we do, our job here, and everybody in the community doing their job, and us being kind to each other, we can be a really wonderful place to live.
Yeah. I was sharing a story with you during the commercial break that when I arrived here, there were 3 Steves working here at the time.
Yeah.
One has since passed on, of course, and another has moved on to a different position. And I got called squared or cubed.
Okay.
So can we call each other squared, maybe, since
I'm
there's
cool
2 of
with it
us
if you're
now?
cool with it,
Okay,
yeah.
we can do that, yeah. I mean this sincerely. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about you. So
Wow.
it is an honor to have you join the team, and we're very excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So congratulations, my friend. Welcome.
buddy. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Yeah. New member of the team. How about that?
New member of the team.
Squared.
Woo! Yeah, I'm doing a party over here. Yeah, give Steve a follow on social media at
Yes.
Steve Soliz on X and Instagram. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Steve Squared.